What is up, guys? Bob, welcome back to another video. I'm not dead. And here comes my excuse on why I didn't upload. It's called, I don't know, generic excuse. So today I'm back with another good coding tutorial. And today we'll be covering arrays and the for loop. And now this is probably one of the most important things in terms of just all coding, not just Java coding, and not just even Bukkit coding. So, firstly, there's two things you need to know. What an array is and how a loop works. So firstly, an array is basically a series of data that basically, I'm just going to do a massive comment here. What the crap, that was weird. Okay, so here, this is like what an array would be like. Let's say there's a string, a thing called an ID. And then in the next thing, there's a bit of data called ASD, and then in that bit of data, there's more data. This is basically an example of an array. This isn't the exact format of an array, but and then in this next one, there's ID2, and there's the same thing. So that's basically an array of data, and it can be represented by a couple of arguments. Firstly is the square brackets. This is meant for an array, so if you ever see that. Then the second thing is ... which means basically a pure array, a series of arrays, a series of characters. Usually it's meant for integers or numbers. And the third way is an array list. Now, this is mainly going to cover array list because it's going to be the most common one you will use. And so, the first thing you need to do for this, we're going to create an array of players. So first thing we're going to do is public array list, and then inside these pointy brackets we're going to do player and then name it players. Okay, so now we're going to have to import array list from java.util and then write a couple of methods. We're going to write first public void add player and then player as our arguments. And so this method, we're going to just call it players.add player. So here we can see if the okay, now we can do so yeah, that's how you add a player. Let's gonna write another method, public void check player, with again player, and then if players dot contains player dot send message, and then let's just do hi, just basic example. So these are a couple of different things we can do for each type. And then we're gonna also write another method called public player array. This is basically called a constructor. We're declaring that this method type returns a player array. Public player array get players with no arguments, and then return players dot to array new player array. Is that correct syntax? Let's see. Oh, 1 sec. I'm trying to remember the syntax. 1 sec. I'm going to just check that. I, for some reason, can't remember the method. It's been a while since I did this. 1 sec. Plugins. No. I'm just going to check. Oh wait, no, I have it in my Eclipse right now because I have my example of a plugin I have made. It's in this okay. Where's the get player? Okay. Okay, where did I get? Oh yeah. To array new players and then so okay. There. Okay, that was all I need to know. To new player array and with players dot size. There. Alright, so I just forgot to do that argument. So now, what this does is basically it returns the players as an array with a new like it's not an array list anymore. It is an array, just an array, which allows us to actually convert it into actual data we can use. And we're going to just get the players in the amount of the players that basically all the players from the array list are converted to the array. So now we can do a couple of things. So the first thing we're going to do is also talk about the for loop. Now the for loop is probably one of the most important things you'll ever learn in coding. It goes like this. So let's say I have a method, and then this is the syntax of it: for, and then brackets, type variable for declaration. This is basically declaring this is like, for example, I'm just going to use a player because that's what we've been using this entire time. For player in, and then colon, which is in, let's a method that returns the player part. So let's just say the get players method we have right here. That's the whole point of it, so we can use it in a for loop. And then we can do for method, and then we just can do this x. Now there are other ways to use the for loop, but this is the most basic word we're going to use it. So the format to remember for a for loop is declaration method. So declaration expression. That's actually the true thing, but the method is the expression. And then we can do code here that will actually use the declaration and the expression, which is, and the reason it's called a for loop and not just a for is because the thing is, this will always loop until it can no longer loop. Basically, so until it can no longer loop by either you saying to break it, which is a thing you do, or so you either tell it to break itself or it can't loop anymore. Like, for example, there are no longer any players in the player array list. That's an example of it. So now I'm going to delete that and bam. Okay, save that. Okay, so now that's an example of that's how you use a for loop. So now we're gonna actually write some commands, and now there are and this also will allow us to do more advanced commands in the future. For now, I'm not gonna do them, and even though we can use command executors, there's really no point. That would all have to. That means we would have to actually do various stuff. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna do more commands inside the on command method that we have here. So we see if cmd.getName.equals ignore case, which should be this time, am I a part? So this will check if they're a part of the, and then am I a part if check player no, we check. Okay, then yeah, we don't even have to do an if statement here. We can just do a check player. Then we can just call this check player. So this will check if the player is a part of it, and then if cmd.getName.equals ignore case add me. Let's just do this, and then add player, but the first thing is, if the player's already part of it, there's gonna have a problem with this command. So there's a couple things we need to do. Firstly, we need to check this, do a check, and sender instance of player, so we can actually check this on both things, because otherwise if, let's say, the console sends this command, then it will just glitch out, because the thing is, it's not a player, and the array list is specifically of players, and that's the main thing we have to be worried about. And in general, we're gonna have some problems here if we don't do that check. So we also have to check if they're already a part of it. If player players dot contains player. If players does not contain player, which is what the exclamation mark means, add the player. And then firstly, now we're going to do one more thing. If cmd, we're gonna do one more command. Let's just say to message all the players in the game. Oops, that equals ignore case. I'm just gonna say message all. And the sender is, actually, we don't need that check. We don't need a check here because the console might actually want to send this command. So if the command message all, and then we can do this loop for player in get players. So basically what this is doing and it was saying, oh, I have a double variable, so I'm just going to name this PL because it's a double variable, because I already declared it here, so I don't want to re-declare it here. And then the thing is, what it does is basically, it's gonna say this variable is unused, but what it will do is that it will basically take the players as an array and send it to all the players in the array. It will take this one player as that's in, which is what the colon means, in this method of this array, because that's what it does, and it will message them all. So player dot send message. Someone decided to message you all. Okay, so now we have this this chain basically. We can actually yeah, we can legitimately basically message all of them without having to message each of them manually, as well as we can message all the players in an array list. And the thing is, the reason you don't want to just do a thing like bucket.broadcast message, and I did, it's uppercase, bucket.broadcast message. The reason you don't want to do this is because you might want to send to a specific group, and that's why you can have multiple. The thing is, you don't need an array. You can have multiple arrays of the players. I can have a second one called, let's just say, we can, because this is just the type of it. We can also have scrubs, for example, it's something stupid like that. So yeah. Now there's one more thing we need to do for this tutorial, which is we need to create a constructor class. And basically what a constructor class does is it's called the same as the class, or a construction method. It's called the same as the class, and it basically initializes everything in this class. So we're gonna call it public tutorial, and then we're not gonna declare anything. And this dot players is equal to new array list, and then there. So this is a constructor. The reason we don't have to do a return statement here, because if this was just a normal method, public whatever, we would have to do a return statement. But the thing is, we don't, because yeah, we don't have to, because we already, it basically initializes everything here, so that's what it returns. Then we say this, we say players is equal to new array list, and what this does is, because it refers to just the current object, aka this class. So yeah, that's the first thing. Now we can just compile this, and I'm going to test this with my alt, because otherwise there's no way you guys, because just to prove that how the for loop works, you can get each player in the array. I'm just looking over everything to make sure I didn't mess up anything. Okay. Alright, now starting Minecraft, if you will. Alright, start my main account, and then, okay, start Minecraft again, and switch user to build error. Okay. So I'm gonna use my alt in this instance, and now. That's crap. Okay. Waiting. Let's just wait for Minecraft to start. Okay. Both of them have to start, so it's going to be a bit taxing, and I might get some bad FPS because I'm recording at the same time. But yeah, let's talk. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the reason we do this is otherwise it basically won't know to create a new, the thing won't know. The reason we do this dot players is equal to a new array list is the thing, because tutorial, the class won't know to actually use won't know to actually use the array list, or to create a new one specifically. Our direction as local. Oh, not running the server data. That's a necessity. Okay, server data. But the crap did I think I reinstalled. Oh yeah, because I reinstalled Java. One sec. This episode's going fine. Alright, program file 36. Java GRE111. Okay. So okay, I can just edit that. Alright, yeah, that's because I just reinstalled Java, so I'm going to have to basically just redo it. Tutorial and then save it up. Edit. Java. There. Bam. Save. Update. Select it. No, I don't care. I don't care about updating Notoh right now. Alright, there. Now I can just direct connect to localhost with both my accounts, although the icon is glitched out. Yes, allow access, you piece of junk. What the crap are you asking that for? Combat watching. Oh, invalid session. This is going fine. This is going well. Really well. Okay, so now I have my, build error for x/adme. Oh, right. I'm smart. I forgot to add the commands to the actual, plug no ammo. 1 sec. Okay. This is going pretty good episode. Copy this. Oops. Alright, I'm gonna do adme. I'm just... what else commands did I add to adme? Am I part of message all? I don't know. Message all. Okay, there. Say. I'm just doing this so they don't have they have separate descriptions. Save. Now I can finally export this tutorial. Okay, bam. Do you want to overwrite it? Yes. Close the server and rerun it. Alright, now it should go fine. Yeah, okay. Turning off the server, that's probably important. Okay. Okay, I have a lot of stuff open. Invalid session again, so I think I have to restart it completely, my launcher included. Okay. It's being a pain right now, I swear. Okay, my Minecraft coding actually makes sense, I just want to show that. Alright, /add me, I may not have permission. Or do I? Okay, yeah. / am I a part? Or yeah, it says hi, so I am a part of it. That did work. I should probably add a message to say that you return. Whenever you do a command, always add a message, a return message, just so it knows. But now I just need to add my main account now that as soon as it starts Minecraft and my PC is going bonkers because all the CPU. Alright, /adme. Am I? Yes. Alright, /message all. Someone decided to message you all. See, so now that basically proves how the for loop works. It basically let's see. Oh, I'm not op on my alt. Game mode. See, I don't know. I just want to play. Okay, so that basically shows how the for loop works. To summarize it all, the for loop basically takes a declaration as part of an expression and basically I'd say dissects like an array. It can be used for other things, trust me, it can, but this is the main use of it for now. And then, or it can allow you to actually access the individual parts of an array. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps me a lot and gives me a lot of motivation to make more of these. And until next time, peace.